In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on December 6, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Sacramento Kings versus Miami Heat. The Sacramento Kings travel to the Kaseya Center to face the Miami Heat on Saturday night. Sacramento comes into this matchup in rough shape. The Kings dropped their last 2 games to the Grizzlies and the Rockets, and they have fallen in 16 of their past 20 outings. Their next opponent after this contest is the Pacers, so this game sits in the middle of a difficult stretch. Miami is not in perfect form either. The Heat are coming off losses to the Mavericks and the Magic, and they see the Magic again in their next regular season game. Even with those setbacks, the Heat still own 22 wins in their past 35 regular season contests, which shows a far steadier profile than Sacramento. Injuries hit both teams, but the Kings carry the heavier burden. Sacramento remains short on playmaking and interior presence, with Dennis Schroeder and Domantas Sabonis both ruled out. Miami, on the other hand, will miss Tyler Herro because of a toe injury, which removes a key scoring option but does not gut their core rotation. The Kings' season has offered almost no real bright spot. They are missing 2 of their most important players and come off a blowout loss to the Rockets that underlined their current problems on both offense and defense. Their effort level and cohesion look fragile, and the roster feels like it sits on the edge of major change. Miami has not played at its ceiling over the past week, with defeats in 3 of its last 4 games, and now plays the second leg of a back-to-back. Even so, the Heat have put together a strong home body of work, with 10 wins in their last 12 games in their own building. That home form, combined with Sacramento's slide, shapes the basic handicap for the side. There is still a path for a competitive game if an individual star performance tilts the script. A big scoring night from a player such as Westbrook or DeRozan could keep the Kings in range and turn this into a tighter contest than the market projects. The larger sample, though, points toward Miami as the more stable side, with Sacramento's current form and injury situation making a sustained push across 4 quarters unlikely. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Heat to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. From a totals viewpoint, this game sets up around pace and defensive efficiency. Miami ranks as the #1 team in the league in pace of play, which means they push the ball and create more possessions than any other club. Sacramento sits 9th in pace, so they are comfortable running as well, which supports an up-and-down rhythm rather than a slow half-court grind. On the defensive side, Sacramento rates 25th in the league in adjusted defense, which reflects a bottom-tier unit that struggles to string together stops. Miami's offense at home fits well with that weakness. The Heat average 124.1 points per game in their own arena, which places them 3rd in the league in home scoring output. When the Kings leave Sacramento, they allow 123.8 points per game on the road, which lines up cleanly with Miami's ability to score in that building. Those numbers combine to paint a picture of a game with many possessions, an efficient home offense, and a vulnerable visiting defense, with both teams comfortable playing in space and attacking early in the clock. That profile leans toward a high total rather than a grinded-out defensive struggle. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Clippers versus Minnesota Timberwolves. The LA Clippers visit the Minnesota Timberwolves on Saturday night at Target Center for an NBA matchup between 2 teams moving in very different directions. Los Angeles comes in after a rough stretch. The Clippers lost to the Grizzlies, beat the Hawks, and now move on to face the Rockets after this stop in Minnesota. They have dropped 15 of their last 18 games, and the skid shows in how they play on both ends of the floor. Depth is a problem, and several important pieces remain out, with Bradley Beal, Derek Jones Jr., and Bogdanovic all still sidelined. The group on the floor has to carry a heavy load every night. Minnesota sits on the other side of the form spectrum. The Timberwolves just beat the Pelicans and the Spurs and have the Suns on deck. They ride a 4-game winning streak into this contest and have no one listed on the injury report, which gives them a clean rotation and flexibility with lineups. They have handled weaker or struggling teams well and have built momentum by taking care of business in those spots. The stylistic matchup does not help Los Angeles. The Timberwolves lean on three-pointers and use the arc as a key part of their offense. The Clippers have struggled to guard the perimeter for most of the season. Their defense ranks 29th in opponent three-point percentage at 39.0%, and only one team has given up more made three-point shots than Los Angeles. That profile lines up poorly against a team that wants to fire from deep. The schedule spot also works against the Clippers. They are on the second night of a back-to-back. Their loss to a short-handed Grizzlies team the night before showed how fragile they are at the moment. Tired legs make it harder to close out to shooters and to keep the ball in front. That can tilt even more in favor of Minnesota, which has fresh bodies and a defined rotation. Against the spread, neither side comes in hot, although the gap between them is clear. The Clippers have not covered during their recent losing run and sit at 6-17 against the spread this season. That cover rate of 26% makes them the worst spread team in the league. The Timberwolves are only 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 overall, and they often play with their food against weaker opponents, which makes big numbers tricky. Even so, with Los Angeles in disarray on offense and defense, thin on depth, and dealing with off-court noise such as the Chris Paul saga, the market skepticism toward the Clippers has strong support. As our first pick for this matchup, the Minnesota Timberwolves to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Pace and total bring a different angle. The Clippers average only 97.4 possessions per 48 minutes, which makes them the third slowest team in the NBA. They like to grind the game, call sets, and limit the number of trips up and down the floor. That slower tempo, in theory, should help their defense, but their issues with opponent shooting from deep undercut that plan. Minnesota plays a bit faster. The Timberwolves average 100.4 possessions per 48 minutes, which ranks 14th in the league. On defense, they post strong numbers. They allow only 11.9 made three-pointers per 100 possessions, which sits 4th in the NBA, and they hold opponents to 35.6% from beyond the arc, which ranks 11th. Inside the arc, they are even better, ranking 5th in opponent two-point percentage at 53.0%. Their main flaw on that end is foul discipline, as they struggle to keep opponents off the free throw line. Given the spot, Los Angeles has every reason to drag this game into a half-court battle. On the second night of a back-to-back, they need to control tempo, value each possession, and avoid live ball turnovers that fuel transition. A slower game also helps their thin rotation survive heavy minutes. Recent history between these teams points in the same direction. 7 of the last 8 meetings between Los Angeles and Minnesota have finished under the total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Rockets versus Dallas Mavericks. The Houston Rockets visit the Dallas Mavericks on Saturday for an NBA matchup at American Airlines Center. Houston comes in with strong recent form, while Dallas tries to steady itself after a rough stretch of games. Houston enters this contest after wins over the Kings and Suns, with a meeting against the Clippers on deck. The Rockets have taken 5 of their last 6 games, which shows a team in rhythm on both ends of the floor and comfortable with its current rotation. Dallas picked up a win over the Heat, then dropped a game to the Thunder, and now turns around to face the Rockets before playing the Nets next. The Mavericks have dropped 21 of their last 31 games, and that trend reflects a team that has struggled to find consistent defense, reliable support scoring, or a stable lineup. Houston will again play without Fred VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tari Eason, and Alperen Sengun. The absence of Sengun matters most for their offense since he acts as a hub in the half-court and draws attention in the paint. Even with that, Houston still has more available pieces than Dallas and keeps most of its current core intact. Dallas has ruled out P.J. Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, and Kyrie Irving. Those losses strip size from the front court and remove a major creator and scorer from the backcourt. With a healthy roster, this Mavericks team would look very different in terms of spacing, rebounding, and shot creation, but right now they lean on what remains of the rotation and hope for short spurts of stability. The Mavericks have shown some progress, with covers in 4 of their last 6 games, and that hints at better execution and a tighter effort level. At the same time, they now play the second game of a back-to-back, face a Rockets team in form, and still carry questions against quality opponents. Houston comes in as the side with better health, stronger recent results, and greater overall firepower heading into this spot. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Houston's recent scoring profile supports an upbeat offensive outlook, The Rockets are putting up 121.5 points per game while shooting 48.6% from the field and holding opponents to 109.7 points on 44.9% shooting. They space the floor with 40.1% shooting from three-point range and hit 79.1% from the free throw line. On the glass, they pull down 49.4 rebounds per game, which helps them extend possessions and limit second chances for the other side. That mix of efficient shooting, strong rebounding, and solid defense points to a team that can push the pace and still protect its end of the floor. Dallas brings a different profile into this matchup. The Mavericks average 111.5 points per game while shooting 5.3% from the field and give up 116.5 points per game on 46% opponent shooting. From beyond the arc, they convert 34% of their threes and make 75.3% of their free throws. Defensively, they allow opponents to hit 32.8% from deep and collect 44.5 rebounds per game. The numbers show a team that can score but gives up more than it would like, with defensive slippage and a gap on the boards. The combination of Houston's efficient offense, strong rebounding edge, and Dallas's tendency to allow points, along with the defensive strain created by the Mavericks' injuries and schedule, sets up a game script that leans towards scoring rather than a grind. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.